Hey, what's going on, guys? So I wanted to come and do a list builder with you guys today. I'm actually going to be logging in and saving this one, but I'm using Ryan Kingston's Armada Fleet Builder, and I am entering a period. I'm going to be heading to Kansas City, and I'm going to be trying to do some gaming while I'm up there, and so I figured I'd put some lists together. I'm pretty much packed up. I've brought most of my Rebel ships, not all of them, but I'm going to try to, test out some new builds. I couldn't bring everything, so I'm not going to be able to I'm not going to play any Imperials for a couple of weeks, but I figured I would work on trying to maximize the assault frigate here. Basically, the idea of this one is I wanted a nice little carrier, and I'm going to try and use rapid launch bays also with this guy. So that's going to be a fun one, and then I'll put a Yavaris in there as well. Try and do some multi-purpose, some multi-purpose stuff. So you'll be Yavaris. I think this is going to be a Leia-based build, and we're going to have a pretty good amount of squadrons, and then I'll see how many more ships I can fit in there. So the idea here is now rapid launch bays. If you're not familiar, is they did clarify that I can set 3 of them off the board, and he can drop 3 when he does a squadron command and then activate 3 different ones, and in his case it would be activating 4 different ones, so he doesn't have to activate what he drops. And then if he drops something, then it's free to move another time perhaps. So that much is pretty interesting. So we're gonna go with the classic Yavaris here. I don't always need fighter coordination team and flight commander, but we'll go ahead and do it. I think the idea is the idea here is that our ships will be pretty close to the battle, and this one might be our flagship, but we'll see. We'll see where we put. I'll put Leia here for now. I want to run Leia. See how well this one does. All right, so let's add squadrons. I definitely want some B-wings, some basic B-wings, because those will make good options for just dropping. So let me drop, put at least three basic B-wings here for this assault frigate. Let me zoom out a little bit more. It gives us 42 points. I'm probably going to have 8 Artalen, and I really like having Luke Skywalker if I'm going to be running Nebulons. I also would like to include some Z95s for just general activations, and let's see. Could do some YT-1300s, so I'd have some escorts to keep them. Oh, I definitely need intel as well. I could do 2 HWKs or 1 Jan, depending on how I want to do it. I think I'm going to go with 2 HWKs in case I have to split them up. So I'll do that. And that gives me 86 points right here for squadrons so far. That's not too bad. And I've got 4, 5, 6 already. I definitely want to fill this thing out with Z95s right now. I don't think I'll run Blount. Let's see if I do 6. That puts me at 128. That's not half bad. Could I even bump it up to another B-wing? 142. That's a little bit too much. Yeah, so I think that's about the most I can get. So this is 12 squadrons. That's nice, and I'm still under the squadron cap, but I don't really have enough room to get a whole nother squadron in there. Well, unless it was another Z95. Nope, 135. Puts me just a little bit over. Problem is Luke has escort, and he's the only one with escort, but the B-wings don't have heavy. They will probably start out on board the assault frigate, but that's okay. I still have enough other squadrons to delay for activation. So we don't have a whole lot of other points, though. So the question is going to be, I think we definitely want a GR-75 with Bomber Command. I think that's definitely a given. And now I have a slim amount of points remaining. So the question here is, what do we do? Do we go with somebody who can also activate squadrons? Because I have to look, how many do I have here? Leia, so give +1 to anybody who's going to do squadrons. This will be 4 I can do. Here I can do 3, so that's 7. And this will be 3 more. That's 10. Now, 10 isn't enough to activate all 12, but since the B-wings are starting out off the board, they will come on board later at some point. Oh, I also need 8 Artalen too. And where to put him? I could put him here with the assault frigate. We can do that. Or the GR-75. That's a tough one. That is a tough one. I like him. Usually I run him on SGR-75, but yeah, well, Paragon or a Gallant Haven would be nice too. That's going to be a good one. Okay, so we're going to go with all of that. We're going to make this expensive, and now we have very few points left. Gosh, can I even fit? I can barely fit another Hammerhead. Oh, I don't want to do that. Ooh, boy, we're getting down to it. So I'm looking at having to drop something, but I really don't want to drop much. So what other options do I have? This guy isn't. I'm not very comfortable with it. With this guy just being naked. He would need something in the way of ordnance over here. Either external racks, which would be pretty good for him, or maybe assault protons if he's doing concentrate fire. But I would need Riken to keep him alive, because he's not going to be able to get into close range, you know, and survive unless I'm guaranteed first player, and it doesn't look like I have much of an initiative bit. What if we dropped the CR90B instead? That puts us 1 point over, and we could work with that. I could potentially drop fighter coordination team. I don't have to have that. I like that, but I don't have to have that, so I could drop that. But let's see, what else could I drop? 8R Talon's just too useful. Between the B-Wings and Luke Skywalker, 8R Talon's incredibly useful. I potentially could drop Gallant Haven, because I don't, with only 4 ships that I'm going to have, I don't necessarily need to charge him right into the battlefield where the B-Wings are going to be. So I could potentially drop Gallant Haven. Let's see, who else could I put in for a ship, though? That's a tough one. Let's see if I can fit a CR90A in there. Okay, and if I'm going to do that, I'd probably want it to. I'll go for the wish list and then back off. I'd love it to have these two, right? That's 15 points over. I'm way over. Let me start dropping stuff. I'll drop Gallant Haven. I'll drop Fighter Coordination Team. 4 points over. It almost makes sense to drop Bomber Command at this point, since I don't have. Like my Z95s don't benefit from it. I'm not running all bombers. The B-Wings would love it, but would I be better off running Torrent Far? The black dice is what you really need the reroll on, though. So, I mean, Luke would get it and the B-Wings would get it, so it's still useful. It's a tough one. Flight controllers I definitely want. Rapid Launch Bay, probably don't need to actually drop people at close range, but it is really nice to take care of those B-Wings and get them moving faster by just flying, putting them on board the ship. So we're at 404. If I drop Jaina's Light, it puts me to 402. Now I'm only at 2 points, and I love having this. I don't know if I'm going to be able to have this, as if I drop that, if I drop the TRC, then I don't have much else. I could potentially do a dual turbo laser turret, or a quad battery turret. The problem with the quad battery turret is CR90 is not ever going to go slow. So that's almost folly to consider putting that on there. Dual turbo laser turret could potentially work on a CR90A. I could see it. You already get a reroll with Leia, so this would be insurance in case you fail on your reroll. But then it makes me think, well, do I even need that at all, or do I want to have a 5-point initiative bid? I think this would be a build that could potentially benefit from having some objectives. So maybe we don't, maybe we don't want to be first player. Although it would be nice, but I could potentially go like that. Let's see, though. So we're at 49 extra points right here. What else could I potentially do better with a Hammerhead Scout instead of a CR90A? Because it's similar, one more hull, but a lot less shields. But we could put the turbo laser reroute circuits on him, and we could have 399. Or, since you're probably only getting one shot anyway, we could put slaved turrets on him and be 398. Oh, and Geralt's honor is 4 points, so we can't put that on there. But now I've got 2 extra points. I can give this guy Bright Hope. Boom. There we go. We managed to get it working. It's only 4 ships, but that's not too bad. I prefer to go with 5 or more usually, but that's just my style. It's harder to do that when you have some larger ships. But I think this is good. 4 ships plus 12 squadrons. I'll have, well, 3 of them are going to be start on board, so I'm going to have, I'll really only be able to take advantage of 1, 2, 3, 4 extra deployments out of these guys. So that's, I'm looking at an 8 deployment setup. It's fair. That's reasonable. The big challenge here is going to be in protecting the Nebulon. So one of the things I'll deploy last is the Hammerhead, and if they, whichever direction it seems like they may start to try to flank me on, you know, like I'll have the assault frigate on one side, and I can put the Hammerhead on the other side to offer some deterrence for them coming in sideways on the Nebulon. So that's kind of how I'll run that. And if this guy needs to do a squadron command in a pinch, he can do that, although I'm going to really want to do concentrate fire commands with this guy and be able to run 3 red dice and a 4th red die from the concentrate fire with slave turrets as well. I would love to be able to run disposable capacitors there as well, but it's just not going to work right now. So I think this is the build. So let's look at objectives. I'm probably going to be second player, so I need to pick stuff that I know they're not going to pick. Most Wanted is always a good one when I've got a flotilla. And considering that I can drop B-Wings at range 1 just about anywhere, and then 8R Talon them, I did put it on the assault frigate, so I think that's the right move. Considering that I'm going to be doing that, I can definitely see advantages for Most Wanted, because I'll be able to drop 3 B-Wings on a Star Destroyer's nose and ready one of them for Yavaris, so I can do a triple tap that way. That part could be amazing. Or it might be better off to drop Luke Skywalker and an HWK on somebody's nose. I mean, so depending on the list that I'm facing, if that's really squadron heavy, I may want to put an HWK on board there. So that's, but that would definitely help with Most Wanted. But let's take a look. Advanced Gunnery could not. It's more likely to benefit my opponent than to benefit me. Although I do have some ships that would like to be able to shoot twice out of the same arc. I could see, you know, I can see the assault frigate maybe getting some benefit out of that, but I just also the Yavaris could too, but not doing it. Not doing that one. Blockade run, nope, not fast enough. Not fast enough. I mean, we're kind of fast, but I think I've never seen blockade run be played, and I think it only really works in a whole bunch of CR90s. I think that's the only way you really, you know, make it work. I mean, there are blockade runners after all, but close range intel scan. We get to add the dust fields, which is kind of cool, but yeah, this gives you extra victory tokens. I don't have any way to generate the accuracy, so this works best with a home 1 or something like that, or Captain Jonas if you are the Empire. Now, Most Wanted, definitely, I think I'm going to go with that one. I don't have enough ships for opening salvo. Precision strike, no, we'll go with Most Wanted. And the tough part will be they'll get bonus. I believe Most Wanted only gives them double the score of the ship itself, not the attached upgrades. Let's see. Let's just get a little clarification. The fleet point cost of a destroyed objective ship is doubled. Do not double the cost of its upgrade cards. Yeah, so I'll be able to guarantee that I'm going to be able to take out a Star Destroyer with a list like this. So Most Wanted will definitely help me. Now is the trickier of the two. Let's see. So the blue ones, let me do yellow first. Capture the VIP could potentially work, but I don't. You know, I want my hammerhead. My hammerhead would probably be the one to grab him, and I don't really want. He's not tough enough. I think a CR90 works best for capture the VIP because I can have them fly around, give them Jaina's light, so they can stay on the outside. Contested outpost is, I think, better for slower. Maybe like an Akbar list, so I can just kind of stay slow and keep that death zone pointed towards the outpost. If you want to come near it, you're gonna have to take my range 3 Akbar / stuff. Now, fighter ambush. This one is not bad. I should consider this one. I'm thinking right now I'm leaning towards hyperspace assault and fighter ambush. I always planetary ion cannon is like my go-to now because it's always a good thing. It never benefits the enemy. So fighter ambush. Let me take a closer look at this one. ambush. Oh, that's fleet ambush. No. Fighter ambush. Before deploying fleets, the second player sets aside all of his squadrons. After deploying fleets, the second player deploys all of his squadrons. Each squadron can be placed as normal or at distance 1 of an obstacle. But all his squadrons must be distance 5. Oh, okay, so this works better if I've got relay. You kind of need relay for a fighter ambush to really work out. So I'm not running relay in this build, so I will, yeah. So I have to read over them again because I get some of them kind of like fleet ambush and fighter ambush. Sometimes I'll get them slightly confused, but I think hyperspace assault is probably the best option here. I definitely I would love to be able to just drop Yavaris in at safety. You know, I think that would be kind of cool. And the other thing is too, I'm taking a little risk because if they have strategic, they could potentially move my points farther away. So if that is the case, I'll have to put the objective tokens closer to my side, out of range of a potentially 8R Talon Ghost with strategic, or a VCX rather, coming in and trying to, you know, move my stuff far away. Alright, so now we're on to the blue ones. We've got Dangerous Territory, Intel Sweep. Dangerous Territory is kind of alright, but your opponent can get victory points too. But I really don't want to hit. That's an interesting part. I'm thinking Dangerous Territory is definitely a possibility. Minefields is always good, but I don't know. I've been using minefields against people lately, since, you know, a lot of, like, anytime I bring strategic, I'll always choose minefields because I can just push them away and end up making, you know, my opponents. So minefields can hurt me if somebody else has strategic. They can put them in my face. So I don't like minefields anymore, unless I have a ton of strategic. Solar Corona is always good. Superior Positions are always good. Actually, Superior Positions could potentially help me. After a ship or squadron performs an attack against the rear hull zone of another ship, yeah, we're going to go with that one, because I've got enough squadrons. I only have to do damage, so even the Z95s can get those double hits in and definitely cause me some victory points going on there. So this is the objectives. What am I going to name this fleet? This is going to be the Leia Squadron Heavy. That's not fun. We need a little bit fancier of a name for that. We've got 8R and Leia together. This guy is the big carrier, though. It's definitely the centerpiece is the assault frigate. He's carrying Leia. He is got 8R Talon. I mean, the Yavaris is a nice touch, but it's all based on him. He's carrying stuff. He's buffing the squadrons he does activate by giving them extra blue dice, which is great because the Z95s can now attack with 3 red and a blue and still get swarm. So that's great. A much better chance against aces to get that accuracy. The HWKs become moderate with 3 blue dice. Luke is rolling 5. The B-wings were rolling 4. It's really for the Z95s though. If he basically wants to be able to either activate the Z95s. So I think since he's the assault frigate, we're gonna call it Leia's Whale. Yeah, so I'll call it Leia's Whale. All right, that's the name, and I'm gonna save it. And maybe I'll get a battle report of this guy, and hopefully I'll have a couple of battle reports over the next couple of weeks, because I will be in Kansas City doing some gaming. So thank you guys here so much for watching. Here is the list. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and let me know what you think. I am going to be doing another giveaway here after Gen Con, so stay tuned for that, and make sure you are subscribed, because you have to be subscribed to enter to win. And I will talk to you guys later. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.